U.S. networks were split on taking the U.S. president's speech live. NBC and CNN stayed away, while Fox News, MS Now, CBS, and some ABC affiliates aired it. That divide highlighting Trump's long record of lying and renewed discussion about the news media's responsibilities. His speech was heavy on unproven accusations about the integrity of the 2020 election won by Joe Biden. Donald Trump also accused China of interfering. The half-hour speech came 3 months before the midterm elections. Here's a clip from it.
Tonight, I'm announcing the immediate declassification and release of critical intelligence revealing shocking vulnerabilities in our election infrastructure. This evidence shows that the election system we have dangerously exposes like levels never thought possible to hacking, exploitation, and foreign interference.
And France 24's Andrew Hilliar joins us from our International Affairs desk. Hello to you, Andrew. What were your main takeaways from Trump's speech?
Well, Donald Trump was trying to do a few things here, Will. He raised doubts about the legitimacy of the U.S. U.S. elections. He again disputed his 2020 loss to Joe Biden. He really won't let that go. And he essentially made a prime-time push for electoral reforms. He alleged flaws in the voting system, saying he was releasing classified documents. This is typical of Donald Trump, claiming he has a proof straight from the horse's mouth. He claimed that voter data was vulnerable. But again, many of these issues are already known to electoral authorities and have actually already been addressed. He also pointed the finger at China, saying Beijing had acquired some 220 million US voter files, claiming that China wanted him to lose in 2020. That's despite the fact that US intelligence agencies were already reporting in 2021 that China chose not to meddle in the 2020 election. China has also already refuted Donald Trump's latest allegations. There was no mention of Russia in that address, a country that intelligence officials do say favored Donald Trump in 2016 and 2020 with influence campaigns. So essentially, throughout this speech, Donald Trump did not anywhere actually provide any evidence that votes had been changed or manipulated in any past elections, including and especially in 2020. There is no additional evidence here that fraud has caused the outcome of an election to be changed. And also audits and reviews, many carried out by Republicans themselves, have all come to that very same conclusion. It should also be pointed out that there have been more than 60 lawsuits that have failed to uncover evidence of fraud that would have changed the 2020 results. So a lot of unproven claims being pushed by Donald Trump in that primetime address.
And so why do some people think he wants to raise doubts about America's electoral system?
Well, look, Democrats have accused Donald Trump of using this speech to sow doubts about the security of elections ahead of the November midterms. Of course, these are those crucial votes that will decide who controls Congress for the remainder of Donald Trump's presidency. Now, Republicans could lose the majority in the Senate or the House or both. And Trump delivering this speech after the release of a new poll that showed that his approval ratings had dropped to 37%. Voters are pessimistic about the cost of living and the war in Iran, two issues that Trump barely touched upon at all during this speech. However, towards the end of his address, what Trump did do is, again, he pushed for the passing of his Save America Act, an act that he is struggling to get through Congress. This is a bill that would impose strict ID requirements on voters and would seek greater federal involvement in elections. However, many experts agree that one of the strongest features of the US voting system is its decentralization. That's because they aren't conducted at the federal level. Americans vote in more than 10,000 different election jurisdictions. That means that the system is extraordinarily complicated, but also safe.